Heartbreak and shock in Charleston, the stunning massacre in one of this city's most sacred places. The photos of the suspect wearing racist symbols.
When this lone gunman comes in, he, we feel, knew the history of Mother Emanuel AME Church in South Carolina, which was the bedrock for the civil rights movement. He knew and he targeted it, that stood for social justice in America. Following what took place in Charleston, Doug Burstow created what was called Civilitas, and we hosted one here at USC.
The primary purpose why we are here together this evening as the first in a series of 5 conversations on After Charleston, Overcoming Evil with Good, has to do with establishing friendships.
Civilitas is a discussion between historically black churches or mainline black churches and the white evangelical church. And why? Because they're worlds apart. We believe in the same heaven, same God, but we certainly approach religion altogether different. Martin King said it well. He said Sunday still is the most segregated day of the week in America, and it is. How do we bring these two institutions together? How do we bring white evangelical churches as well as black church leaders together? Civilitas does that.
Why don't you confront the idolatry of white privilege face on?
You have to make white folks at ease, especially in evangelical institution.
As a seminary that is in one sense multi-ethnic, multiracial, international, it still is a dominant white culture seminary. And it hasn't really said that of itself. And by not saying it of itself, it hasn't really actually owned the fact that that is a blindness at the core.
And then the African Americans, on the other hand, agreed as well that we don't reach out beyond our community to interface enough with white evangelical churches, or certainly just white churches in general. And I had to admit it myself, I pastored in a predominantly white community for 18 years, but I haven't invited one white evangelical pastor to come in and preach. Following the June 17th murders, we had a woman. She just happened to be white, and her husband came to our church.
I had been watching the news about Charleston, and it just broke my heart, and it just kept sticking with me, and my heart was just really heavy for it. And our church was praying really specifically over that, and was mourning the loss of our brothers and sisters over in Charleston. And I found out that there was an AME church in Irvine, which surprised me. And I said to my husband, we have to go this Sunday. We're going to go and stand with them.
She says, we felt deeply moved by what took place in Charleston, South Carolina. I said, oh, thank you. And we were moved as well. I'm glad you're here to worship. She says, I'd like you to meet my pastor, Chad Halliburton. I said, oh, I'd love to.
And she said, hey, would you be willing to have dinner and get together with Reverend Whitlock and Reverend Mia? And we said, yeah, that sounds good.
And I went over, we had good food, my wife and I met the family. Then he invited me to preach in his church. I said, oh, this is interesting. This is really good. And so we went over to his church, it was packed, and we had a good time worshiping, and it made the front page of the Orange County Register. And I remember enjoying, basking in the glow of what we had done, and then I realized literally 3 weeks later that I had not invited Chad to come and speak, really. And I realized the problem's me. What am I doing to make a difference even in my own community? And so I invited him. Then 2 days later, he called me back. He said, well, we want to close our church down and we want to come to you. I said, can you handle the amount of people coming? I said, we will try to make a way.
In John 13:34, he says, a new command I give you, love one another. He's not asking and he's not suggesting. Jesus, I love you, I love you. Jesus, I love you, I love you.
I think addressing race and white privilege and reconciliation within the church is important for our church because it's important to Jesus. And again, that might be a cliched answer, but he's so clear that his church is supposed to look like everyone. It's different churches, but it's different cultures. It's different ways that God is moving his church through the world, and just the awareness that the end-all be-all is not Rock Harbor Church is really healthy and good, and the first step is just awareness.
I'm hopeful that more churches are going to do what happened here today. I have to preach in a short period of time before the denomination, and it's going to be 99% African Americans in the crowd, and I'm going to talk about what took place here today, and I'm hoping that it will help change their thinking and create hope for racial reconciliation.